People often forget that the United States doesn't just consist of 50 states. It also includes 14 other territories, 5 of them which are major, or not major, but they're countries that have a lot of people that live in them. I believe that as American citizens, it's our job to get to know each other better and just understand these cultures better, because it makes the community tighter and it just makes us understand each other more and lead to better things. Today specifically, I'm going to be talking about Puerto Rico, which is actually where I'm from. My name is Jose Segurani, and I grew up in Puerto Rico for 11 years. And then I moved to Virginia, and then now I'm here in Tallahassee. I really learned a lot while I was in Puerto Rico, and I'm going to be sharing my knowledge that I've learned while I was in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is a country that is under the United States wing as one of their territories, and despite that, they have their own economy, their own culture, and even their own struggles. According to Britannica, they have a lot of imports and exports which are actually the same. For example, they both import and export chemicals, chemical products, computers, and electronics. Aside from those, they do have some specific exports such as foodstuffs, because they grow a lot of things on the island. And for imports, they actually bring in a lot of petroleum, coal products, food products, and transportation equipment. And according to Trading Economics, their GDP is actually $103.14 billion, which sounds like a lot of money, but when you put it in the grand scheme of things, it is not a lot of money, because it actually only constitutes of 0.09% of the world economy, which just goes to show how much money really is in our world economy. As for the population, according to Worldometers, the Puerto Rican population consists of 2.7 million as of November 2021, excuse me. And that really is a small amount of people. Compared to the United States has almost 400 million people. So 2.7 million people is really not a lot of people. That's like how many people are in a city in the United States. For their music, they actually have the typical type of music called salsa, which is actually originated in Puerto Rico, and it's used at a lot of holidays, gatherings, and it's just everyone dances to it, and it really brings everyone together in Puerto Rico. It's really big for bonding. And aside from this is their main type of music. They also have bachata, which they usually dance to, and it originated in South America. And they also listen to a lot of reggaeton, which is basically rap, but in Spanish. Which brings me to their languages. Puerto Rico is actually a bilingual country. They speak both English and Spanish. Some people don't speak English, some people don't speak Spanish. There's both. And some people, which from my experience, most Puerto Ricans are bilingual. As for their customs, they're really family oriented, a lot like people over in Asia. They really care about their family, always looking out for their family. A lot of the events take place with only family members, and a lot of the holidays just take place with your family. You don't really go out, go to festivals and party a lot. It's just family, a lot of events, customs. They actually have a lot of big events and holidays, which actually brings me to that. And one of them is called Three Kings Day, which in Spanish is known as El Día de los Tres Reyes Magos, which happens right after Christmas, and it's basically like a second Christmas. They're celebrating from Christianity the three wise men. They also have the Festival Nacional Indígena, which basically is a celebration of Puerto Rican history and culture from the Taínos and everything that happened when the Spaniards came to Puerto Rico. And they celebrate this with festivals, dressing up as native things called Los Vejigantes. And one final one that we have is called Nochebuena, which actually happens December 24th, right before Christmas. Usually everyone celebrates Christmas in the United States, and Puerto Ricans do that as well, but the really big party and everything that everyone celebrates and does is usually not on Christmas Day, but on the day before, which is known as Nochebuena. As for struggles, Puerto Ricans deal with a lot of struggles, but as of recent years, the big struggles that Puerto Ricans have been facing is Hurricane Maria. Hurricane Maria hit in 2017, and it destroyed everything and just completely shifted just Puerto Rican perspective on everything and just their state of life. There was a big destruction of property. According to NBC News, there was $90 billion in damages, which makes it the third costliest hurricane in United States history. There were many deaths that occurred due to a hurricane. It took a major hit on the economy due to all the money that they now owed and everything that got destroyed. The crime rate increased with people that were trying to survive and by stealing things and just committing a lot of crimes. And that also, I don't know the specifics because I don't really know a lot about earth science and things like that. But it actually ended up leading to a lot of earthquakes that happened after the hurricane, which led to even more damage, which again, more money, a lot more people that went into poverty, and just a lot of more dangerous situations due to the crime. But in conclusion, despite being a territory, Puerto Rico has a rich culture, its own economy, and its own struggles that it continues to deal with to this day. And I think that we should do our best to understand all those concepts, because the more we expand our knowledge about other cultures and people, the closer we get to understanding one another. And I think that the closer we get to understanding one another, the closer we get to a brighter future.